Hey, CrazyRonn here. City Skylines, After Dark. It totally hasn't been 2 weeks since I last played the game, but uh, we shall move on. If you can hear the fan in the background, don't mind that. It's first world problems, It's 40 degrees outside my house, it's 70 degrees in the hallway, but it's 82 in my room. Gotta love how hot and expensive computers are for, it's like they're like cost wise, heat per dollar, worst heaters for the winter for the winter. But what can you do? Don't mind the game here. It's a little slow today, apparently. This is the first time I started up in a while. Anyway, so if I remember right, last where we left off was a really long video, which I actually haven't even edited yet, because my scheduling is really gapped out. When that comes around, it was an hour long. Like I did some terrible time overruns, and oh, of course. Okay, please don't mind that. Steam's been acting a little weird lately on my computer. Oh well. So here we go. Here we are. Here we go. I try to combine those words together. City, as we know and love. Where we last left off, I spent an ungodly amount of time on this concrete monstrosity right here. And you know what? My money looks like it can barely hold it, but I might do it again. So in the past coming, you know, nondescript amount of time, I have I got a lot of free time at work, and I was thinking about how I want to do this, like actually want to do this, and I thought about it. So, what we're gonna do first, get rid of those turnarounds, and we're going to, this, probably not helpful. This is temporary. Remove that, it's gonna disconnect all the power lines. But since demand for industrial is really high as it is, why don't we just, I like how everyone is happy that I'm removing road noise. Let's redo this area. That's what we'll do. So that controls garbage, so I need that to stay in place. But, whoops, that now no longer has power. We're gonna redo this industrial area, because I've been thinking about it. And there's a certain way I want to go about it. Because the problem with heavy industry is if people aren't familiar, they create a lot of traffic. And I guess in a way they're not vital for commerce, because if you have enough highly educated individuals, I guess it becomes moot. Whoops. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to feel too much about it. I just know that it's a problem. So what we're going to do is we're gonna do everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite. We're going to try to alleviate all traffic problems from here on out with, drumroll, roundabouts. So first off, as much as I hate it, we're gonna put floating on first, because the pillars won't play nicely with how I got everything set up. Like that. Whoops. There you go. Kind of overkill with the 3-lane, but it's going to be important in a sec. Okay, so now to trick it, to give it pillars, all you got to do is just switch on back, upgrade tool, and just have it. It's just like reverse direction on it, because these are just, one-way ramps. There you go. So that keeps the parts that you don't touch from updating, and there you go. Alright, so I'm sure this has a reason of being like this. I'm not entirely too sure. And I also thought back about it, even though high density would be good to try to populate or to give employment to this area quicker, to the industrial area, which I plan to have this most, like, maybe from here to here, the halfway point, I'm going to have an airport here and have tourism-based commercial here. Then I'm going to have industrial fill this one area. In regards to that, I realized that the high density structures are usually housed by young adults. Young adults are usually educated or educated or well educated because they are, surprise be known, they are actually the children of the families that move into these small houses. These small houses have older families that move in with the young kids. The young kids go to elementary school, go to high school, go to university or whatever. Then they move out and, you know, they live in these apartments. Then they go to work, they shop until they get old. Then they move out to these houses, have families, and the cycle repeats. And I mean, that's way more cooler than SimCity. But that aside, due to that, I'm going to have to change my tack for this area. Even though higher density I would work well, because to me, I just want to cram as many people as possible to get them working in this area. But they're not going to be going to be as inclined to do so. I mean, the only reason why that's why in some cases I'll have industrial or office demand high constantly, mostly because everyone's educated and they're not getting the jobs that they feel entitled to. So we're gonna do that. Then thankfully the smaller roundabouts, oh wait, okay, I was gonna say these smaller roundabouts are easier to place, and then I realized I don't know about that anymore. Okay, so what we want with these folk, I need to give it enough space so that it can actually feed off of the lower route, the cargo route, as it were. And this one needs to not collide with the the transition from this freeway to the other freeway. Like I'm tempted to say like north, south, east, west, like cardinal direction type freeways, but I don't even know what's north in this game world. There we go. Do they seem equidistant? This one seems closer than this one, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so those are there for now. That is going to definitely change in the future. So what we're going to do here, those are going to get swapped around. Ever since they added the swapping tool, it's been really nice. Actually, wait. Try curved roads and make it a little more gentler. There you go. There's going to be obviously some steep parts to this section. Here we go again, me just spending time building roads. But this time it's going to be a little different. And these look a little more wider than I want them to be. I mean, last time, assuming, depending on how I edit it, like I literally have not gotten to it yet, but if I edit it shorter, it's because mostly I was spending a lot of time on the center area. But this is actually pertinent. This is actually related, considering, oh yeah, let's do this as well. Turn it to freeways. See, even though this is normally just a one-way roundabout, but if I upgrade it to the freeway roundabout, or the freeway road, it ups the minimum speed limit. So they go faster around there, if it really matters. But okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch them kind of vacate, and I forgot that the rest of the power is also disconnected. Whoops. Let's do something that is already annoying enough as it is. Well, actually, it shouldn't be too bad, because this area, like all this area under the freeway, it's already bad enough that I have to overlap it anyway. Like, I have to use the overlap setting in the roads. So, planting these power objects under is not a big deal, because I'm going to have to adjust anyway. Because, like, I think that was, like, the very first recording I was doing. I put a power line under a road, and I had to destroy the entire road just to move everything around. But this one, it is an inevitability. So, as a result, it's not as big a deal to me to do it this way. Now the plan is, in the passing weeks, I came to realize that so long as money permits, I should just upgrade the roads as far as I can. Because one, you'll get to a certain point where money will just be raining. Like, you will have millions and millions of dollars in the bank at a certain point. That is here. Why don't we kill time while we're doing this? We don't want cargo trucks to enter this place. But yeah, you will get to a point where you will just have so so much money, and it's just it's unnecessary to be too concerned about that. Why didn't I set this before I left last time? Yeah, you seriously have to stay on this if you have like the Traffic Plus Plus mod or equivalent. I don't know when people are going to watch this, but you want to, well, in the way I designed this, you kind of want to keep the incorrect people out from the specific lanes. Like, see, this one is fixed, this one is fixed, so the correct people are entering the correct areas, except for these main roads for some reason. I guess I never got around to it. But I only want cargo trucks to be on some ramps, and so long, in a way, as long as you only lock off like the entering areas, there's no way vehicles can accidentally enter a place they're not supposed to. So like in this case, see, I don't feel obligated to do it all the way down this road because it's one, time consuming, waste of video, and it's, I doubt they'll be able to enter in the first place. So now here we are. We got this laid out. We can use, hopefully this is the center. My partial OCD is going to bother me if it's not. So that's 194. Half 194. Well, half of 180 is 90, so half of 194 would be 95. Let's just say 96 or 97. Oh, so it would be more this way. Oh well. I'll get over it. So the midpoint would be right about here. There you go. And I think this is possibly the shortest I can get this ramp. Alright, and actually, no. That is entirely irrelevant, because I remember what I'm supposed to be doing now. I have thought through, it's not a unique way, but I'm fairly certain it's not unique anyway. There is a way that you can prevent traffic from backing up on itself. And it's an idea. It's quite an idea. So basically, I'm gonna have to do something weird with this area. That's unavoidable. But for something like this, it's gonna get worse. Oh, you can trust me on that. So right now, we're gonna utilize these mod roads, and we're gonna start. All it is an inkling, all it is a seed, but it is a start. Like that. Let's turn on one-way roads because, yep, you guessed it. Anything I'm doing to try to reduce traffic is going to be one-way road related. And this is how it starts. Or maybe I could make it a little bit farther back. That should be good, I think. Hopefully I won't regret this. So, what's next? Well, what's next is what I think people in real life, if anyone saw in real life, they would be killing themselves or they would protest. But this way. This is how I've found to reduce a lot of traffic issues. You basically do a type of loop system where even though going from point A to point B, it's not possible. It's hard to describe in words. It's easy to see. Like, for example, now when traffic from here hits this traffic, they're going to turn left and they're going to turn right. They're not going to intersect each other. See, the main issues, especially in really high traffic volume areas, which mostly occur in industry, like offices, there's nobody there. Commercial, industry, they're pretty bad. High density residential also tends to be bad, but that's only if you have it built up in a really tight space with not a lot of roads. Putting a lot of roads, one, like this, in close proximity gives different options. It distributes the traffic load, and like seriously, most traffic slowdowns and bottlenecks is just because vehicles are waiting for their turn. And since, you know, vehicles merge in weird places, you have to make do. And so with this, even though realistically this labyrinth this maze, okay, words today, this maze of one-way roads is actually necessary to kind of manipulate the AI into not being an asshole. That's like the only way I can describe it. Me being a prick is going to work in dividends in the long run, because, like, see, doing it this way, like I said, traffic's going to hit here, this intersection from both ends. They don't have to go across the road from each other. They can only turn left, they can only turn right. And also the reason why I'm using three-way roads instead of the four ways is if I use a four-way one-way, like, here's a quick example, it causes traffic lights to spawn. I don't want to, even though four-way has higher capacity, I don't want to go through each and individual road area and just set the lights. That takes up a lot more time than I'm willing to give. So here we go. We just do like a one-way grid network. Convoluted, complicated. It looks like a nightmare. Death by traveling these roads. You know, that's what the inmates at the jail, at Lonesome Jail over here, will have to do. But there's a rhyme for a reason for things. So hopefully this can and will mitigate traffic. But I've done this before, but I've never done it to this scale. Like, I mentioned earlier that this area is going to be all industrial, like at least to this halfway point. And I'm also thinking of other things I could do in place to make sure, you know, it's not going to be too much of a heartache. Okay, so right now, what I got planned is I'm going to isolate this area. Like, this main core will be the industrial area. This area here will be utilities and stuff. I'm going to make sure that cargo trucks and stuff don't saturate that area, for lack of a better term. Because the main reason why traffic tends to get bad and or worse is just mostly because traffic isn't, or certain vehicles aren't in the right places. And so that's weird. That one went straight. This one won't go straight. Like what is up with the world? Huh. See, like, this is the, oh, it's off center. That's probably why. Okay, so this one, traffic can only go in one direction. This one, it can go in multiples, but hopefully this should suffice. Now, this is only meant to be for, like, civilian traffic, like the people that work here for emergency services that, oh yeah, speaking of emergency services, this is a nightmare for fire department and police. That's why you end up paying more for services in this type of area. But, you win some, you lose some. So, right now, this will allow for, actually, these on-ramps will have to allow for cargo, because there's no way these commercial areas will get goods if they don't do it that way at all, because I think the entrance to this place is completely locked down from cargo at all. So that's one thing. But I have it set so, yeah, cargo trucks can't utilize these upper freeways, and then the lower deck, so to speak, will have the cargo. So the low deck, high deck. Now, what we're going to do is, we can make each one of these roundabouts, instead of them pulling double duty, we can have this one handle, like, purely the outgoing ones. I don't know if there's room, though. That's the really tricky... oh, wow, there's a pillar. That would be such a detriment to everyone passing under. That is pretty bad. Here we go. Put that pillar back. Put that pillar back. There you go. Okay, so, yeah, you just gotta trick the system. I mean, I know I know concrete has pretty terrible tensile strength, and I'm not gonna ask it, but this seems fairly more realistic than the entire thing floating. Now, roundabout, back to business. I'll probably have to do overlap. Just eats into this area. I don't mind it sharing some space with that, with this bridge over here. That's the sucky thing. The moment you start picking out off-ramps for these roundabouts, it starts getting misshapen. Alright, so now this goes this way. Any cargo... Actually, no. I got it. I think to maintain the ebb and the flow, what we can do is roads. I mean, this is a tight fit, admittedly. Basically, what we can do is have this side kind of take traffic that is incoming and outgoing from this direction, and then this one handling it from this direction instead of having them crisscross. I think that would actually do way better. And I'm also going to have to do some weird provisions. So this is so close to this actual ramp area. I feel like I'm going to have to do something strikingly different. Like, because if I just hook this up right here, it's going to cause issues with cargo trying to turn into this area. If that makes any sense. I might have to give... Well, actually, since this area is extending this way, this loop can actually supply this side. Or, I mean, I can have a loop, a roundabout on this side. So this is actually moot. Yeah, this is actually pointless. But it needs to be there for now, for out-of-town delivery. So I guess for now, we'll have to live with it. We're going to have to do something really, really fugly looking over here. Like this. Oh, come on. Okay, so let's turn off overlap, because it's not going to zone correctly. Okay, I have to overlap for this first one at least. Then put it back. It ain't pretty, but it has to be functional at least. There you go. So that way, that loops around. If it goes straight down, it would cause a bottleneck up here. Then this side, it's got to pick it up. That is definitely steep. This game. I can't even blame the game, like, at this point. Because this is just so convoluted and so tricky the way I have it set up that there's just no way. Now, I can only hope that placing it like this isn't going to cause any traffic discrepancy between these two. Like, the closer we have on-ramps, off-ramps together, they can potentially cause problems. And that's what you'd never want. Okay, so overlap can be turned off. We can have... Ooh, this one is really interesting now. We can have you go... overlap. We can have you go... Actually, if I put it right here, it's going to cause a pillar. See, that's the downside. I do have it a little bit unnervingly close than what I should do. You know what? Here, why don't I just hook this low like that, and then have this one. No, I can't do that. See, stuff like this is tricky. I mean, it's not going to go any better. Because we want something like this. Look at those back-to-back pillars. Oh, that looks so weird. So what we want is them to kind of smoothly transition into each other. Now, obviously, there are issues. Like I mentioned earlier, there's this issue with this on-ramp system being here. Okay, let's make this floating, okay? I think that pillar lock was what was killing me, because it's like, nope, you're not allowed to put it there. Slope too steep. So I probably have to push this back a bit. That's like the only way I can do this. So I can do that. I can do that. Yep, I still have to do that. I was hoping I didn't have to, but you can never have your cake and eat it too, you know. There you go. Doesn't look pretty, but it's going to, well, it's going to work. It should work. My confidence is waning as I progress, but What can you do? All right, so now is it seriously just is it just remembering that I have power line installed under there? Let's do something more gentler and also no collision. Come on, cooperate, damn it. I feel like I'm gonna have to remove this area as well. That's why it's always good to have a freaking no-build zone around your freeways, because idiots like me tend to do stuff like this. Okay, so space is already occupied. What do they want from me? Like, seriously. Okay. What the hell is going on? It says space is already occupied. By what? Like, there's only one thing present. I guess I have to be reliant on the pillars. That's a little weird. Alright, well, I am resigned to making this, or I am driven to get this complete within the first episode, at least. That I'm back. Okay. This is gonna cause him to decelerate so bad. Alright, hopefully this doesn't... I don't know. You really do want to make your off-ramps and stuff kind of go with the flow of the on-ramp and off-ramp. Like, the flow of traffic, sorry. Sorry, I'm just wrapping my head around what is potentially bad stuff. Okay, so now we want this guy to come off there, and this guy to come up here. Hopefully they won't run into each other too much and cause problems. But that's this area. And now we start growing it. And we'll see what happens. Oh, yep, because the overlap key is still on. I'm not okay with this. We'll just let it happen. Okay, there we go. Let's unzone this. That commercial demand is also pretty high. Then we put down them fire departments, because there was one firehouse that I removed. We can put it at the main openings, which will allow them to kind of flow through. An idea I also had was to... I want to just eat that building. Was to have, like, two-way streets that only emergency and certain vehicles will utilize. Therefore, they can still move about, but the cargo trucks cannot. Like, they have dedicated routes for them. But yeah, I never got to that. Or I kind of decided against it, because that requires space that I don't really have. Or okay, that's incorrect. Let me be more transparent in my city planning. I want all the space I can have for tax-paying people, so I can make more money and make a bigger city and have more traffic congestion. Yes, that is the ultimate goal. Now, in thinking, I might do a better job if I just isolate the cargo. Like, for example, if I put in a cargo rail over here and just have it feed this area or any other area, because there's no rail, there's no external rail into the map. I did that on purpose when I designed the map, because I want the rail to just stay domestic, kind of. So I could use this, so I can have both, because this new cargo hub is part of the After Dark update, and it has both a harbor and a terminal, so they can do both trains and boats. By combining the two, I could hope to use only... What's going on over here? Tax is too high. Looks like I gotta lower it before I start losing people. I could utilize the rail just to deliver cargo, and so they wouldn't saturate the freeway. Because at a certain point, the freeway is going to be handling pretty much all the residences, and you're going to need something to handle the cargo. There's a lot of... What is up with my police? Do I not have police coverage? A lot of crime is going on. Okay, admittedly, there's only one pig house. I should get another. Why don't we throw down, like... Actually, this is where the higher density buildings are going. So I'm probably going to have to start putting bigger... police stations with better coverage. Is what I'm trying to say. Put it there. Hopefully that would quell what's over there. And over here I could use like this small rural police station. Unless these get handled. I don't know. My concern for this isn't as much as it could be. But yeah. Look at that. This is like a family of roundabouts or a family of interchanges because, you know, that's what this is going to be. Nothing but a mess. A mess of concrete and tentacle ribbons. Concrete tentacle ribbons. There you go. Sounds like a weird anime show.